Don't I look stunning in this light? Oh, that's the other side. Probably because I washed up. Just got done. Well, not just got done with it, because I probably washed up. But I'm always looking at my teeth. I don't know why. Okay, so said I was gonna post another video because I was too excited about what was it? I think, oh man, I forgot the name of it. Another number. The name of the episode is 1 minute. I think it's episode 7, season 3. If it's not, it'll be different in the description. I was really excited to see what was going to happen with the brother-in-law in Breaking Bad. This is Breaking Bad, by the way. I was really excited to see what was going to happen to the brother-in-law, and they delivered on this episode. This is a great episode. I'm telling you. If anybody has, if anybody, I'll go ahead and say, if anybody is an aspiring like screenplay writer or novelist or whatever, close your eye. No, take a fish bowl or a cereal bowl. Write all the names of write the names or numbers of episodes in any given season of Breaking Bad. Throw them in a bowl. Shake it up. Coach Eye, take your other hand, dig in there, pull one out. You got your novel, you got your movie. Just expand on it. Just expand on those. Make new characters, add characters, but just expand on that story. You're gonna have a decent movie or a really good novel. Just without any effort, without the smallest amount of effort necessary, and you're gonna achieve something fantastic. This one, it just delivers in so many different ways. Pinkman's performance in this one, the initial performance was pretty good. He's sitting there silent. I mean, he's just gotten beaten to a pulp almost. He's just gotten beaten to a pulp almost, and what was it? He just got beaten to a pulp, and he's sitting there quiet. Saul's in there, and Mr. White's in there. So he has one thing on his mind, and he's not taking any drugs. He's not any recreational drugs or any drugs prescribed by the doctor. Come to find out, he's not doing any of that. So he's only got one thing on his mind, and that's revenge. That's getting even. He delivers those lines so well. Now, who should I talk about next in this? Well, let's talk about the people who just make small appearances. So the sister-in-law and Mrs. White. Mrs. White comes in and does her feminine thing, trying to plead with Mr. White because a situation has arisen with the brother-in-law and Pinkman. Oh, yeah, because the brother-in-law beat Pinkman up. So I'm just looking to see who this was. It was looking at me. I'm at work, but I'm parked on the side. I'm on my break, actually. At work on my break. I'm parked on the side, just waiting to see who this is. You never know. You never know who people are, what people's intentions are. This is real life. You never know what people's intentions are. But anyway, yeah, so the situation with Pinkman's going to press charges against the brother-in-law, even though he's a DEA agent. He, without merit or cause, he beat Pinkman to a pulp. And all the while this is happening, Mrs. White's pleading with Mr. White. Well, separated now, so ex Mrs. White is pleading with I don't know it gets weird. I don't know the character's name, but she's pleading with Mr. White to, hey, get Pinkman to do this, do that, and the brother-in-law is basically being a man, if you will, owning up to everything. Hey, I'm not gonna lie about it. I did this, I did that. Oh, and he finally opens up to his wife about all his emotions, what he's been feeling, what he's been going through. And that's a great scene too. It's very rewarding to see, especially her character. It's very rewarding to see her character be vulnerable, and it's very rewarding to see his character finally be vulnerable. Even though he's a trained killer, he's really good actually. It comes up later on in an episode when these they're not identical twins, but they are brothers. Probably a couple years apart or something like that, but they dress alike, so it kind of threw me off the first time I saw these characters. But the scene where they wind up taking them out is so good. I mean, it's really interesting to see. You would think that these guys are like professional killers or whatever you want to call it, they would come more than handguns in the situation. I know, because they're used to, for the most part, they're used to killing people who are unarmed and who are unsuspecting. They try to use that to their advantage, but somebody tipped off the brother-in-law actually, and a pretty decent, I think it's a pretty realistic shootout when a bullet is traveling at a certain velocity or speed. Now, it's always going to be affected, of course, if it goes through glass or goes through metal or something like that. It can still kill a person. There's a little attention. There's a little attention to detail. There's a little slight detail, or there's a little detail that comes out in this episode when these two killers are purchasing their vest. Not only do they shoot the guy that's wearing that they bought the vest from, not to kill him, but to see if the vest actually works because he's wearing it. He's also given a they call him the black. Well, they made up a name for it, but it's like I forget the name of the bullet, but it's designed to separate. The projectile is designed to separate on impact. It's not like a ball ammunition. I think ball ammunition is like, it's just a piece of lead or brass that just goes straight through the target. In this case, this particular projectile goes, using big words, this particular projectile comes through and separates, so it makes it less likely that anything behind it won't get hit. And crazy, he takes out one of them. It's pretty interesting. He has a will to survive, I tell you. He takes out one of them, and he gets into it was getting shot at by another guy, but coincidentally the other guy's weapon flies through the window. He's able to grab that, and he unloads on the guy after they come together, but he shoots them all in the vest, because that's where officers are trained to shoot. But the guy gives him a second chance. No, Fossi, he says something in Spanish, and sometimes it's too easy. He goes and gets this decorative axe, because I just don't see how it's not realistic to be walking around with a chrome-plated axe that actually works. Possibility, but I'm just saying it's not. I don't think so. Even if it was silver, silver completely. It's too soft. It's too soft of a metal. I don't know. But well, silver was harder than gold. I need to go back to chemistry class. But he goes back to get the axe in order to hack him up. But meanwhile, when all this commotion started, the bullet that he was given falls out of his jacket because it's not loaded in the magazine, and somehow it just coincidentally winds up right next to the brother-in-law. So he's able to load one round in his firearm that's run dry and put it inside the guy's head. Oh, and I know it's gory, but I hate to glorify something that is within that falls within this line, but even though it's gory, it adds something to the experience when you're watching a movie. Even if it's not gory, the placement of the camera in these situations, it sparks something off in my brain. It makes me more excited when you're watching different camera angles, when it's just like it's a camera that's pointing, shooting at, like, it's like, oh, over here, these linear like two-dimensional type of angles. When you put that on top, when you flip that over on his head and the placement of the camera, say, for instance, the placement of the camera is up into the corner and to the back. So when the shot goes off, you see the gun discharge and you see the projectile go inside the guy's head, and you get the splatter on the camera, which I'm saying it's a step above. It adds a whole nother element to the experience of watching it. And in movies, some movies they've done it to where they have I guess it's called, I don't know the name of it, but it's a camera like on a moving tripod, and they're focused from like right. You can see the whole body, but the camera is spread out a little bit more, so it's not zoomed in on the person's face while they're running at full sprint. That's good camera work. Or when somebody gets out of the car, it's the little stuff. When somebody gets out of the car and there's a camera mounted on the door of the car, and it's like it's stabilized, so it'll shake, but it won't be shaking uncontrollably like this. It'll be like this, open the door and then close, pow. And just that little stuff, it's something else. It's pleasing to the eye, at least in my opinion. I think I've explained too much about that. But yeah, Mr. White makes a deal to bring Pinkman back after he's found basically the perfect assistant. He's found the perfect assistant. And he wants to ditch him to get with Pinkman. I don't know if it's sentimental or anything. At this point, I mean, I don't want to seem like I'm cold, but at this point, if I was in Mr. White's shoes, Pinkman would have been erased, because he's causing all type of trouble. He just said, hey, if anything happens to me, I'm going to go and do something where I know the possibility of me getting caught is very high. I'm going to go do it, and if anything happens to me, I'll give you up. He just said that. Doesn't matter if it was done in anger. Hey, you got to watch what you say, because now you got to go. In my opinion. But yeah, and they leave us on another cliffhanger too, because we don't know if, leave me on another cliffhanger, because I don't know if the brother-in-law is going to survive. You just don't know. So now I'm waiting to see what's going to happen in the next episode, which I can wait now. It just is more satisfying for me to watch these two episodes back to back.